My brothers and sisters, your brother in Christ, Ramirez, we just witnessed the most satanic, diabolical Super Bowl event ever. I say that openly. I'm not apologetic about the satanic world. I'm not apologetic about demonic rituals, ceremony, and celebrations. I'm not apologetic for that at all. I love Jesus Christ. I was in a demonic world for 25 years of my life, and I did it all. I did it all. I know how it starts. I know the diversions. I know the distractions. I know how to bring division in order to bring the demonic into the stadium, into the system. So think about it. We in Black History Month, right? What would you want to bring a Puerto Rican in, right? And I'm Puerto Rican, so I can say whatever I want. What would you want to bring a Puerto Rican in to celebrate Puerto Rican culture? That's in June. We have a Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York City. The day before the Puerto Rican Day Parade, we have a Puerto Rican festivity in 116th Street in Manhattan. They call it Barrio. We have that. So why couldn't they do it during the time of the Puerto Rican Day Parade? Why? Because they need a big stage. The devil wants a big platform in order to do the ritual and then get the people engrafted in the ritual. But the sound of the demonic waves, think about it. Bad Bunny. Everybody was up in arms with the Bad Bunny. Oh, this guy can't sing. This guy can't. He's nothing but a Spanish singer. That was a diversion. The man can speak English. He speak English. That was a diversion. That was the distraction to divide people, to bring people in a place to even don't have people a moment to think what was going to take place. So when you come into the highest level of witchcraft, you have to create an atmosphere of division and discord. You have to create an atmosphere of diversion. So that's what they created. Bad Bunny was the great example to create that. And the reason they picked Bad Bunny, because of the changing of the guards in the demonic world, the changing of the guards. Think about it. Why would they dress up? Look at the entry. Look at the gateway, right? Because these are gatekeepers. Ricky Martin show up out of nowhere. He's a gatekeeper of the industry, okay? On both sides of the spectrum, in the homosexual side of the spectrum, and then in the normal side of the spectrum. Do I love, Ricky is a very handsome man. The man is a great singer. They had to bring him into the fold of the satanic ritual that was taking place. Why would they bring him? Because there's a changing of the guards, a changing of a new era, right? Because Ricky Martin, before we ever heard of a Bad Bunny, this spectacular singer of the Latin world, it was Ricky Martin. He was the gatekeeper. So they had to bring him into the ceremony.
He's doing this at a Super Bowl, which is just dishonoring, I feel, in every way, displaying all this imagery. But, he's not in it just for the show. He's making a declaration. It's my full belief that he has taken a new position, that he's elevated himself in his degrees of illumination. And I think we're seeing him displaying what he's going to be over, which we're going to get into, what his specialties are going to be, what kind of training is he going to be doing, and his areas of focus around the world. It's my full belief that's going to be in connection with Lady Gaga.
Here you are, Ricky Martin, passing the crown of the gatekeeper to Bad Bunny. Passing the crown to a new era, because the new flavor, the new industry flavor of the satanic world is Bad Bunny. So now Ricky Martin shows up, past the crown. And who we have, because the satanic new gatekeeper, it is this man. It is this man with the initiation that took place. It wasn't a cultural Puerto Rican thing. It wasn't had to do with Puerto Rico. They dressed up that way so they can sell it to you that way, so you don't think straight, where they perform the ritual right in your face. 135 million people watching from home, a satanic ritual like never before. That's not including the people on the stadium.
Here we see the bricks, which you get in masonry. They're known as builders. And it's interesting that they've got the, you know, female builders. Who knows what the female builders are called? You get your priestesses, your Eastern Star.
Top of that, Lady Gaga came. If this is all a Latin thing, a Puerto Rican thing, a Puerto Rico thing, what would they bring a white person, a Lady Gaga? What would they bring her? The reason they brought her to make you believe, well, we're gonna bring a white person in to calm things down. You see, we're not that racist. We're not troublemakers. Look, we have a white person here that's willing to partake of the festivities of the celebration of our culture. No, she's a high priest. She's a high priest. Think about it. She is a high priestess of the satanic world. That's what she is. So they had to bring her in to take the crown off of Ricky to put it on Bad Bunny. Okay? Because she qualifies in the demon world. She has the rank. She has the demonic authority to make it happen. That's why they had to bring her in. And then when they bring her in, think about it. She dressed in a light blue dress. That light blue dress represents, in the demonic world, represent motherhood. It represents a satanic motherhood. It represents the goddess Isaac. If you could Google her, you can see she's wearing a blue dress. It is a deity of the ancient world goddess Isaac, dressed in a blue dress. They had to usher her in. And then it's a part of Santeria. Blue represents Yamaya. So where would Yemaya come from? Where would Santeria come from? From the Latin culture, because it came from Africa. From Africa, it came to Cuba. From Cuba, it came to the Caribbean. So Bad Bunny knows about Santeria. So what would this woman dressed in this blue outfit? She wasn't dressed that way because. And then think about it. Why would Bad Bunny be dressed all in white? What would he be dressed all in white? To receive the ceremony. Because white means purity, purification in the demonic world. The difference between them and us, Christians, they dress white on the outside, but they're dirty in the inside. And we are pure in the inside because of the Holy Spirit, what Jesus had done at the cross. Okay, so why would he be dressed in white? Think about it. Now you got the satanic woman. A satanic woman. She having not declined or denied her existence in the satanic world. She comes in with a satanic, demonic authority to complete a ceremony in the biggest stage, right? Because they need the big stage. They pass the forest. They need the forest in order to come into the high place. They need a stage to perform the ritual. That's the satanic altar. They need to bring the high priestess dressed in the blue dress. She represents the goddess, the mother, right? She represents motherhood in the demonic world. That means madrina. Madrina means godmother in the satanic world. The high priest, she comes to perform the ritual to Bad Bunny, passing the crown, the gatekeeping crown from the industry, from the old to the new. The changing of the guards is happening right in front of you. They're dressing up with music. Then, listen to this. This is what she does. She's standing in front of Bad Bunny. She placed a crown in his head. But check out her fingers. This is what she does. She's standing in front of Bad Bunny. She placed a crown in his head. But check out her fingers. 3 to the left and 3 to the right.
Lady Gaga wearing blue and her big red flower there and blonde hair. You see, the same guys who are kind of behind the scenes for that wedding there. Now all of a sudden they present Lady Gaga, which is an interesting switch in all of this. But anyway, we know the big red flowers, the roses, wearing them like a lapel like that, often that's going to represent breeder programs. So it's interesting you've got that combination with the wedding there. What is she overseeing? We know the red also connects usually to the Rosicrucians, and they're working in operations in the area. Again, we see her also wearing the red shoes in that. Again, not every time a woman wears red shoes is it representing something, but you get a connection with the Rosicrucians, different brotherhood orders, and the Red Shoe Club. And, we know how they get the red shoes. That also connects to the Jesuits. You also get a connection, all of your popes up until I think the last one, it was common for them to have red shoes. And that's a very specific thing. And again, it gets into the graphic killing and mutilation, the necromancy, and the necrophilia. So you just see them dancing together, coming into alignment and agreement. And I think that, that's pretty much a, very strong declaration between these two, that she's behind backing him, raising him up for his position, and he's coming into agreement. He's going to stand with her and hers. So, we know a lot of the military bases underground, what are things that they supply, what movement, what do they have go through there? This would be a very strategic move with her connections to certain places for that supply chain and everything. So mass amounts of money there.
Now he's dancing on these poles. It shows like these electric poles. They're supposed to symbolize in Puerto Rico the infrastructure of Puerto Rico when blackouts happen because of the storm. No, he has to get on the pole. You know what the pole represents? Between heaven and earth. The energy that's coming from the second heaven and the earth and the people in the stadium. That dark energy, he's channeling that dark energy into his spirit and then bringing it back out to the people. And the people are celebrating it, and everybody's getting cursed in the stadium. And he's receiving that dark energy up on that pole. Is the energy of the demonic grid that is happening. That now he dressed it up like he's on that pole, and he's hanging between the second heaven and the earth to seal the deal with the devil.
Now, this one, was interesting in a couple ways. A lot of people after this were putting up online that this was the little boy that, that the Dems accused of ICE harboring because the dad was deported and they kept the child here in the United States. I can't verify that either way, but there was something I think even more significant that was in this, and that is his hand on top of the child's head. This is a very specific move in two ways, and it connects with the imagery we're seeing of all the sugar cane. One of your high areas connected to the cane or the different plants that are very similar to that you get is your Vietnam, Laos, all those areas. In those cultures that are overseas, that can include Thailand in certain areas, for them, their ancient culture, the sign of the hand on top of the head was a sign of you taking somebody as a spouse, like it was their sign of marriage. It was their marriage contract. So this is very concerning that he's putting his hand on top of this child's head in that manner, and they would get down and look directly into the eyes. That was part of the contract. So for me, that's the concerning part I see is, is this a child he's choosing and he's doing both the sign of covenant of being in a marriage contract, which then means he's going to raise up this child maybe to be a successor to him, but also maybe, to be engaged in with sexual magic. So I think that that's something to keep an eye on for sure. And if this child is the child that was detained by ICE, the concern is how in the hell did this man get a hold of that child? And has he, purchased or bought that child, directly or indirectly? That's the concern. So, yeah, so there's a lot there.
He's representing the things of the heavenly realm of the demonic to down to the realm of the earth. And he's receiving the energy, and then he's releasing the energy to the people to seal the contract for what was done at the Super Bowl, receiving the dark energy to complete the contract and using the people as bait, using the people as a sacrifice, the people that were there, and that dark energy and that connection between the heavens and the earth. He's hanging on that pole, receiving. You see all that sparkle going out. That's not the infrastructure of Puerto Rico. Let's not be fooled, people. That is satanic demonic assigning the last drop of the contract because he's the new gatekeeper of the industry. And that was what happened on Super Bowl night. As we were being distracted with, oh, he's Latin, or he's going to sing in Spanish music. Why are they doing the Latin thing? We live in America. Why are they doing this? People all divided back and forth, when the devil was preparing the stage and using the people that came as sacrifices, spiritual sacrifices for all the people that showed up. And he was changing of the guards, not Mark Anthony, Ricky, and passed the baton to Bad Bunny. And you haven't seen nothing yet. That's the beginning of the demonic, of the new era that is happening in the industry. And Lady Gaga was front and center to baptize this man because she has the demonic credentials to do so. That's the story.